Welcome to today's lesson on Light My Fire. I'm going to show you how to play the keyboard organ part to this song. We're going to learn the intro, the verse, the chorus, and actually all of the solo, which will take up the bulk of this tutorial right here. So let's start off with this intro. To find our location on our keyboard, let's start with finding middle C, then treble C, and we're going to start in this area in the G above the treble C. I have an assistance of an organ today, so we have the DB33 instead of our piano sound. Let's put our right hand up in the G position, G, A, B, C, D, up in this octave up here. Okay, starting with middle finger on B, that's the first note of our song. So we have B, G, A, B, D, C, B, A, G. So it's kind of outlining a G chord more or less. The second measure is all about an F chord, but we're going to need to spread our fingers out so that way we can reach all notes from an F chord, F, A, C, and F, A, F, A, C, F. And from where the fingers we have right now, maybe fourth finger can take this D, D, C, B flat, G, up to A flat, G. Starting with where our fingers are right now, with the 3 being on the B flat, A flat, G, we're going to cross over to F, E flat, F, and up to A. Now when we get up to A, we're actually going to do a little bit more right there, but I'm going to stop and go back to the intro and play everything up until that A. Okay, now, as soon as we play the A, we actually are going to be arpeggiating an A major chord as A, C sharp, E, A, C sharp, E, A, E. Repeat pattern. Now, meanwhile, left hand's going to be outlining some triads. Let's start off with G, down to D, F, B flat, E flat, A flat, and then A. Now I'm going to play this section hands together, but very slowly. And if you continue to practice this and work on playing it faster, eventually you're going to be able to play it through at the speed of the song. Right, now let's go into the next part, which is going to be the verse. Now the verse, we're going to be using a C major chord, using treble C, and also this chord right here, which is an F sharp minor, but as A, C sharp, F sharp. And it's going to be played in this rhythm. 1, 2, 3, and 4, and 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 1, 2. All right, now left hand, we're going to be using one of two chords. One of them is either going to be A minor 7, played as A, G, C, E, C, E, or this nice F sharp minor 7 right here, So it's going to be F sharp, E, A, C sharp, A, C sharp. And just keep on alternating those two patterns. Now there's going to be times our hands are not going to be playing the same C at the same time. So for instance, like occasionally your right hand's going to be playing a C major chord that has a C natural in it, but the left hand's going to be using notes from the F sharp minor, so it's going to have a C sharp in it. You're probably going to notice that right away when we play it slowly, hands together. Right here, left hand has C natural, left hand has C sharp, right hand has a C chord. So just for a split second, you'll hear those notes clash, but that's actually going to help its rhythm sound very interesting. All right, now let's move on to the pattern we have for the chorus. Now the chorus, right hand's going to be arpeggiating chords. So we're going to start off with a chord that looks like E minor. It's actually technically G if you add in the left hand, but right hand's going to be using B, E, and G. So that's E minor. So we have G, B, E, G, then an A chord, A, C sharp, E, A, then a D chord, F sharp, A, D, F sharp, D, A, D, F sharp, back to E minor, G, B, E, G to A, D, and this one goes up to a B major, so B, D sharp, F sharp, B, back to E minor, A, or sorry, yes, D, sorry, this is the D chord, but it starts with an A, and then an E. And all of that right hand once again. Now left hand is going to be outlining chords again. First starting G, A, D, G, A, D, and then I'm going to play B with my thumb. We're going to do a B chord, but I'm just going to play that one there and then jump over to D sharp, F sharp, G, D, E, and slowly hands together. All right, now we have come up to the solo, which is quite long. So I'm going to separate this into different sections. I was initially going to do them 16 measures at a time, but the parts didn't always kind of nicely divide up that way. So I just went for what patterns were happening. So this very first one, actually, should mention that the entire keyboard solo has the same left hand all the time. You're just going to vamp on two things, either an A minor triad, A, C, E, or a B minor triad, B, D, F sharp, like this. 1, 2, and 3, 4, and 1, 2, and 3, 4, and the entire time. So we're going to focus a lot on right hand, but at the end of each section of learning the right hand, I will play together, hands together, that part slowly. And now part 1 with hands together. All right, now we're moving on to part 2. Okay, part 2, we're going to be in the same area of the piano. It's just going to continue on with where we were. But here is the right hand part to part 2. And now this part hands together. All right, now let's move on to part 3 of our solo. Okay, part 3 is going to be up on D and F sharp to begin for the right hand. We're going to be playing all in thirds, so I'm going to try to organize our fingers so that way whenever we were playing alternating thirds, we're also playing alternating fingers, meaning like fingers 1 and 3 versus 2 and 4 or 3 and 5. And actually looking at our very first pattern, we really want to start this D and F sharp with a 3 and a 5, because not only we'll have these, but we'll have 2 and 4s on C's and E's and 1 3s on B's and D's. And then here, we're going to maybe moving our hands up because we're also going to be needing E, G, and F sharp A. So maybe at this point, we may want to even use 1, 2 on the C, E. And now this next part is rhythmically going to be a little challenging. So when we get to this part with the hands together, I'll spend a little extra time right here because right hand's going to be in quarter note triplets while left hand's just going to have a regular pattern of 1, 2, and 3, 4, and where the right hand's going to go a little bit against the beat. But now let's do part 3, hands together, slowly. And here is that rhythm. First, we're just going to play what it sounds like. So left hand, I like to think of this instead of counting 1, 2, and 3, 4, and just divide the measure in half. Just count on every half note. Then what you're doing with this half note is then just making the right-handed triplets to the half note. So technically what's happening is you're playing the first notes together, the second set of notes from the right hand, followed by the C, followed by the third notes, followed by the E. Those all kind of happen quickly to each other. Like that. And then they line up again on the next chord. Okay, now that brings us into the next section, part 4. Okay, part 4 of the solo. We're going to start with our right hand up on A and C. Then we have F sharp A and B. Going down to D F sharp. Here you have some more of those quarter note triplets. And now let's put that hands together for part 4. Here's that 2 against 3 beat. And now we've reached the final part, part 5. Now in part 5, actually the right hand has the triplets the entire time. So let me play first what the right hand is for the final part. Let's start down on B and G with 3 and 5. And meanwhile, they'll go against this. Think of it as in 2. I hope you enjoyed this tutorial on Light My Fire by The Doors. I would definitely appreciate a thumbs up on the video. That does help my algorithm so very much, so that tutorials like this can reach people like you. And definitely leave me something down in the comments, something you liked about this tutorial, or maybe suggest a song you'd like me to cover next.